Oh, good morning, loose enders. Today we're in Tewksbury. It's nice and early, no one about, just us, just how I like it. I don't know what we're doing today. I think I'm having a lazy day. We'll see. Oh. I don't know if you can see that. You might be able to. Oh, there's a pipe coming out. I'll show you. I'll get closer. Hold on. You hear it? There you go. Just running out of that huge gully. Let me just see if I can reach. There you go. Pipe down there. See it? And straight into the Severn. And I'm not sure, but it's suspicious it's time of day they do this. Because see how it's going that way? That's going towards the sea, so the tide going out. Because the River Severn is tidal. Then we turn round, and here is a lovely parkland area, which has been left to the council, or the local community effectively, on the understanding it will always be open to the public. Yeah, so lots of public, and right across there behind those trees, I can't be sure exactly where, is a sewage processing plant. Well, I do know, Bill. I'll tell you how I know. Is I've walked up that road a lot of times to go into town over the years, and it fucking stinks when you go by. So you can tell, right? So they're dumping that into a river that's not very wide, right? Not very wide at all. And people fish there. Now, I don't know if they catch and eat the fish, but something to consider. Not 200-300 yards from there is a campsite. In the summer, people come along there and they're out on their paddle boards and canoes, and kids are playing in the water. And from this side as well, which is not the campsite but the park side, I've seen kids down there paddling in it in the summer months, and people launching canoes and paddle boards. You know, usually as the tide's turning, because the river's not running too fast, and so you're not going to get swept away. But I saw only a short video. Who was it? Two other van people. I know, Mad Mark and Jonah, and they were down Dorset or Devon or somewhere, walking along the beach. This huge pipe just throwing out water and then going into the sea. And it's something we haven't paid attention to, because it's been happening for years. Something like, I'm going to say, thousands of tons of raw sewage are thrown into the Thames in London, I think twice a day, right? And my understanding is it's not even been treated properly. Some sort of thing, but you know, sieved out the lumps. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know. But you know, these things should be attended to before we go doing anything else in other countries, shouldn't they? You know. They go, oh, it's perfectly good, but it's not contaminated, it's been through the system and the treatment plant, and it's come out the other end and it's fine, just throw it in the water and it goes out to sea. Alright, well, if you're that confident of it, we'll make you a big bath of it, get in it. Or even better, I'll give you a glass of it, drink it. Actually, that reminds me of that Erin Brockovich film. Remember? They're arguing with a solicitor or something, and Erin Brockovich, in the film, obviously slightly dramatised, Erin Brockovich wiped the floor with this lawyer, right, with facts and figures and phone numbers, and then she went to pour herself a glass of water, this solicitor. She went, oh yeah, have some water. We brought it in special, you know, because water was contaminated. Which is a good measure or a good indicator of how much these people might believe their own bullshit and propaganda. Anyway, that's enough of that serious shit. It's 6:30 in the morning. We're in Tewksbury Park. The dogs are cool. Oh, Teddy's just had a 2-bob and I didn't pay attention. Hang on, I'll come back, hang on. So I'll tell you something that happened on the way up to Tewksbury yesterday. I was driving up the M5. Steady pace, 60 mile an hour, just in traffic, being, you know, blending in, if you like. And a vehicle came by. Was it on the motorway though? No, no, it wasn't the motorway at all. It was on an ordinary road, but there was some traffic. And anyway, so you're driving along, mind your own business, just getting on with it on autopilot type of thing. And a vehicle come up alongside. Well, a motorbike came up alongside me and beeped, beep beep, quite a late one, beep beep, got my attention. Now here's a strange thing. When you're in traffic and driving and somebody beeps you, you automatically assume, or you go straight to, what? I didn't do anything wrong, you know. And I looked round. I didn't do that, but that was your initial when someone beeps at you for no obvious reason. And I looked round, and the guy looked at me, and he gestured, and then he was gone. I went, oh. Then I was a bit confused. I thought, oh, is there something hanging off the back of my van? It's something that I can't see. And then I realised, it took me a few seconds, and what he'd actually done was give me a thumbs up. And I went, oh, like that. And then it dawned on me, I went, on the back of my van, when I had all graphics on it, sometime last year, I won't bore you with the details why I'd done that, but I took them all off there except for this one thing on the back door, because it is something I feel strongly about. I've got in black letters, we care, and then a list: animals, veterans, homeless, hungry, and social injustice. All right, because they're all things I think shouldn't be, you know. Not in this day and age. You know, the animals, the terrible things we do to them, and they're abandoned and neglected and mistreated. I'm not talking about animals we eat. That's a completely different story. That can be changed dramatically, but that's another one. Another thing to be addressed in a completely different way. But I just mean, and then veterans, people that go to war for us, like effectively the country's warriors, if you like. And so many of them come back and they're broken. All right, in the First and Second World War, and they said it was shell shock and so on, they should put it down to that's war and that's it. And we didn't know, you know, nobody knew. And they were sort of looked after to a degree, not all of them, but that was then. But now in this day and age, we know what it is now. It's PTSD. And we can help with it, you know. But so many people who just come out of the army, they're thrown in the civvy street when they're no longer needed and left. God, I can't remember. It's a ridiculous number of people that are killing themselves every year, right? Ex-servicemen. Soldiers specifically, because they're on the front lines sort of thing. And they turn to drugs and drink, and they end up homeless and on the street, and marriages break down. You got no. So I feel very strongly about that. I feel strongly about animal cruelty. Nobody should be homeless, and nobody should be hungry. Let's just start with the most obvious. You can house thousands, and there's something like 150,000 immigrants in this country now. That could be an exaggerated number, but I actually don't believe it is. And we can find the millions of pounds to put them in hotels and that, but we couldn't find the money to take one of our soldiers off the streets and put him into care and look after him. Just give him a roof over his head, food in his belly, and some company. And that's the starting point, you know. And these are people that love this country, not hate this country, right? And they hate us, make no bones about it. You know, and this is decision makers for you, it's just wrong. That's that politics thing yesterday. Fucking got me fired up and thinking about it. See, I try not to do it, but I think you got to do it. I don't do it in an angry manner, do it in a clinical manner. And it's just the truth, as I see it. By all means, have a different opinion. You'll be all woke and lefty if you like and go, oh, but they have a terrible time. Yeah, well, you're having a terrible time thinking those things. You must be a troubled individual to be so naive and stupid, but feel free to crack on with that. But trouble is, there's people like that making decisions for us now, and it can't go up. It can't keep going on like that. Anyway, I'm back at the van now. I'm just gonna get in with the dogs. We've had our cup of tea. Dogs have had like a 40-minute walk, I suppose. That'll do. Right, I'll come back to that. Well, I'll come back to something. I don't know again. Let's see. So where I've parked up is opposite the lower load inn in Tewksbury, which I'll show you the lower load inn. Look, that's it over there. Right, so there's a slipway in to the Severn, and that's the lower load inn. Right. And that gets flooded. Look how low that water is. Every few years it gets flooded big time. And I'll just give you an example of how bad it is. Right, so come back here so you can see how low the water is. Right, now I'll turn you round. Right, so there we're level, right? So I'm sort of level with the house, give it probably a bit lower than the house, not much though, the building I mean. Right, then we come round, and this whole, see the water through there, and this whole parkland gets flooded, which you'd find hard to believe, wouldn't you? But it does. And and here you can see just how flooded it gets and how high it comes up. Look at the trees, right? And they've all got that mark, how high the water can come up to. See it, the dark bit, maybe 4 feet up. And all the trees have got it. That's the marker for it. The water comes up to that level. So obviously never going to build on that bit of land. Have I just stood in dog poo? No. Okay. Oh, over that lower load in, a terrific campsite with facilities. It's really good, honestly. I stayed there, but I'm a cheapskate, so when I'm in the area now, I don't go. Well, I just don't go to campsites very rarely. Only when I need a shower and I need facilities and I might need to do some laundry, and otherwise I don't go in. So I can't water strip wash in your van. It's perfectly good. As long as you've got enough change of clothes and pants and socks, you're good. You know, you can go a few weeks like that, just strip washing in the van. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna have a quiet day today. I might come back, I might not. If I don't come back, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And our dog missing. Ted? Where is he? Oh, there he is now. You could probably see him, could you? Yeah, there he is. Anyway, so, till later. Bye for now. Bye, 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 bye.